creating your unique diet. First, in order to do so, we need to determine your goals. From there, we want to get an idea of what your calorie intake is and what your protein intake is. Now, for some people, you might not be at the point where you want to count calories and you want to count protein, but you do want to have an idea, again, of what that intake looks like so you can align that to your goals. From there, we're going to determine your intake. Now, we talked about 4 different diet types: keto, intermittent fasting, meat-free, paleo, and other. And for each person, it could be some sort of combination of each. So you could be a meat-free eater who likes to intermittent fast and sometimes will have higher fats in your diet rather than carbs, so you have a little bit of keto going on there. For someone like myself, I'm more of a paleo eater who does some flexible fasting. I like to eat a lot of meat-free foods that I'll add and substitute into my daily routine. I am more of a fat eater than I am a carb eater, so it's kind of keto, but not. And then of course we have other things like chocolate and wine and whatnot that you have to add into the mix. So once you've determined your goals, your calorie intake, your protein intake, you want to determine based on your intake what is going to help to align you to those goals as best as possible. And then you want to include some habits that you want to focus on. So I've included some of mine. I personally am a tracker for the most part, not always, not 365 days a year, but if there's ever a goal I'm working towards, I'm tracking because it helps me to get to that goal. I'm a calorie cycler. I don't eat the same amount of calories day in and day out. Typically, I like to eat more calories on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and I'll be more stricter Monday through Thursdays. And then I'm also a flexible faster. So I eat the majority of my calories later on in the day. So sometimes in the mornings, I'll flexible fast anywhere from 10 o'clock right up till 2 o'clock, depending on how much I ate the night before, in order to balance out my calories. These are some of the habits that work for me, and you want to have certain habits to focus on for yourself. And then finally, once you've determined your goals, your intake, your habits, the most important thing is that your diet is sustainable. So regardless of what you're choosing, you have to find something that's going to be sustainable for you, and you have to come up with that long-term mindset. If you're going for that quick fix, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If it's not sustainable, it's not going to last long-term, and you oftentimes will do more harm than good. And the last point I put in there is once you find that sustainable pattern and you develop that long-term mindset, the other thing that you want to include is a little bit of trial and error, because no matter who you are and no matter who the clients that I've worked with, they always get to a point where they want to tweak things and they want to change things. Even if they reach their ideal goal, even if their goal was to get a 6-pack, once they get to these goals, they're constantly tweaking and changing to help to continually improve. And that goes for no matter who you are, whether you've reached that 6-pack, whether you've reached your goal weight, or whether you're just starting out. You want something sustainable. You develop a long-term mindset is super, super important. Understand that you're in this for the long haul, to do so not only for your physical health, but your mental health and well-being, and just make sure you're tweaking along the way as you go. And this is how you come up with not only your own unique diet, but your own unique diet that aligns with your goals and will help you to achieve them at some point.